Well, greetings viewers and voyeurs. I wanted to talk a little bit about friendships and how I personally differentiate between real friendships and circumstantial friendships, or what I would call friendships of convenience. Circumstantial friendships are worthy and certainly valid friendships. It's just that they're not on the same sort of depth and level of real friendships. And let me explain by using some examples in my own life. Those of you who've been subscribed to me for a long time will remember last summer I had the two girls who worked for me, who were my best friends locally, in for a session of blog TV. The reason for that was I talk so much about my online life to my real life friends that I wanted my real life friends to have a chance to meet and get to know some of my online friends. So they came, we had a good time that night. Subsequent to that blog TV session, though, about a month and a half later, I had to sack Megan, the blonde one, from her job, despite the fact that she was my closest friend. Because, long story short, she didn't turn up for work on a day when she was scheduled to work, and it wasn't even the first time or even the second time it happened. And the previous time when she did that to me, I warned her that if it ever happened again, I'd have to sack her. So I did sack her. Unfortunately for me, she felt that it was an unfair dismissal, because I think she felt she could negotiate her way out of being sacked because of our friendship. When she found she couldn't negotiate her way out of being sacked because of our friendship, she left here in a huff, and about 20 minutes later she phoned me up to inform me that our friendship would not survive the situation. And even though she was literally my closest friend, I loved her as a friend. I still think she's like one of the most amazing women I've ever met. But I never chased after her to try to reconcile our friendship, because I didn't do anything wrong. Sacking her wasn't wrong. You know, if someone doesn't show up for work repeatedly and you sack them for it, that's not wrong. So I shouldn't have to apologize for that. And I didn't have to apologize for ending the friendship, because I wasn't the one who ended it. She took that upon herself. So I saw it as my prerogative not to try to fix it up. I thought it was on her. If she wanted to be friends with me, she could fix it up, because she's the one who ended it. I feel the same way about YouTube. You know, if someone wants to end their friendship with me, that is always their prerogative. However, I feel that on YouTube, just as in real life, if a friendship is worthy of the title friendship, it will survive more than one misunderstanding. No friendship worthy of the title can be ended based on a single argument or a single issue. That's my opinion anyways. I mean, I contrast what happened last year with Megan with what happened this year with Jenny. About a month ago, I had to sack Jenny, who is my closest friend. Same exact reason. She didn't turn up for work on a day she was scheduled, and she knew it was going to be a busy day that day, and she didn't even let me know she wasn't going to be here until it was too late. So I had to sack her. The thing is, of course, that we didn't fall out because of it. She understood that she wronged me. She understood that it's a business, and that business doesn't really pertain to the friendship, and the friendship doesn't really pertain to the business. She got that. And me having to sack her didn't even cause the tiniest little ripple in our friendship, not even slightly. That's a real friendship. A real friendship can survive misunderstandings, arguments, differences of opinion, distance, time, you name it. So yeah, this is one of the easy ways to find out who your real friends are, is the ones who are prepared to chuck you overboard over a misunderstanding or some kind of an argument. I received a PM this morning from someone who I thought was one of my longest term friends on YouTube. He's been a member of my audience for well over a year now. And it pertains to something that happened in Blog TV last night. I was in Moonlit Night 81's Blog TV, and when I got there, there was a conversation going on about the user in question I'm about to talk about. And I didn't really say much about this person in the conversation at all. And not all of the conversation that was going on was negative, not all of it was positive. It was going both ways. And there were quite a few people involved in the conversation. One of the people in the conversation made a statement that I replied to. And apparently that has caused the misunderstanding. Now I'm going to read you the PM that I got this morning. I'm not going to tell you who sent it because anyone who was in the blog TV last night will know. And if you weren't in blog TV, it doesn't really matter who we're talking about here because it's the principle that's at issue more so than the personalities in question. I received the PM that says, all I have to say, if you really think I twist evidence because it's the conservative thing to do, you could have just told me you respected me so little to my face. Guest chat is a wonderful thing, is it not? Bye, Paul. You won't hear anything more from me. Ciao. Well, you know what? If you're prepared to throw our friendship away over a single sentence in blog TV, good riddance. You know, we apparently weren't really friends in the first place if that's the case. But I want to say something more pertinent than that because I think basically you owe me an apology. I'm going to read this PM again. If you really think I twist evidence because it's a conservative thing to do, I never said that. I never said that. I don't believe you were a guest in the chat room last night. I think you put this line in, guest chat is a wonderful thing, is it not, to give the impression that you were there. But more to the point, I think you're trying to cover for the person who told you that I said this shit because you don't want to drop someone else in it. The thing is, I never said that you twist the evidence. Someone else said that. I could tell you who, but I'm not going to. Because I don't stab people in the back for saying shit. That's one thing. For another thing, I didn't say that. Someone else said that you twist evidence to suit your own case. That's what they said. My response to that person was, now, the problem with that is, in a text message, text is completely devoid of facial expressions and vocal intonations. And as we ought to know, most of communication is nonverbal. Gestures, facial expressions, vocal intonations make up well over half of the intent and meaning in all verbal communication. Unfortunately, in comment sections on videos, as well as in blog TV, when all we have is text to go on, things like vocal intonation and expression are completely absent, and therefore you can't even know necessarily the intent behind a statement. Had you heard me or seen me, had I been on camera and said the exact same thing, it would have come across something like this. When someone said, so-and-so twists evidence in order to suit his case, my reply would have come back as, well, being economical with the truth is a conservative tactic. In other words, it was sarcastic. And it was about the statement about twisting evidence more so than about the person to whom that statement pertained. All of this is completely lost in a text message. But more to the point, I never said you twisted evidence. And if you're prepared to end our friendship because I said that being economical with the truth is a conservative tactic, fine. But obviously we weren't really friends if that's going to do it. If our friendship was worth that one sentence to you, fuck you. But let me give you a little education. It is a conservative tactic. That is a direct quote from a conservative. About 20 or so years ago here in the UK, a conservative minister for the government was giving evidence to the House of Commons, which was later found to be pretty damn close to wrong, all right? And when he had to testify in front of a committee about it, they basically accused him of lying. You see, an MP, or especially a minister, who deliberately misleads Parliament faces some pretty severe sanctions. And anyways, that minister, when he was in front of the committee, said, I didn't tell a lie. I was being economical with the truth. That's a conservative statement about how conservatives, present their case. It's not a blanket statement about all conservatives, but it is a conservative tactic, a tactic used by conservatives. You see, without the context, the statement is very easy to be misconstrued. Do I blame you for this misunderstanding? Fucking right I do. Because instead of fucking coming to me and saying, did you really say this? Or, why did you say that, Paul? I thought we were friends. No, you're prepared to throw me to the fucking sharks based on fucking hearsay. Fuck you. I got no time for friends like that in my life, quite frankly. But listen, if you want to apologize about it and explain why you're prepared to torpedo the friendship over a single sentence, then fine, do so. I will listen. I hope we can patch up our friendship, but quite frankly, I don't think we had a friendship. I don't, because if you're prepared to throw me overboard for one fucking sentence, we weren't really friends. All right, this is Got That Funk. Sorry about all the drama, people, but since I got blocked by this person, I couldn't say the same thing to him in a PM. I had to do it in a video. There you go. This is Got That Funk. Thanks for watching, and may all your ups and downs be ups.